Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Sister Wives star Christine Brown's startling assessment of her marriage to Kody after 27 years of marriage says it all. The toxic relationship that Kody Brown had with his ex-wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine Brown, has been candidly examined in Sister Wives Season 19. The viewers have attributed the disintegration of the Poly family to Robyn Brown, Kody's only surviving wife. However, the patriarch of the Brown family is also largely to blame. In actuality, the aftermath might not have been as unpleasant if Kody had not been so obviously biased in favor of his younger wife. However, Christine seemed to have suffered the most from Kody's emotional neglect out of all the wives. Even though Christine was frequently seen as the family's emotional rock, it was always painful to witness Kody treat her with such contempt. Christine has talked candidly about feeling invisible to her ex-husband during Sister Wives. But now that she and David Woolley are in a committed relationship, she is at last discussing the severity of her difficulties. Christine and Kody Brown were not intimate, either emotionally or physically. In the Sister Wives Tell-All Special Part 3 airing on June 8, 2025, Christine confessed that she realized their relationship was essentially gone the moment Kody announced to the family that he was getting married to Robyn. Christine claims that she and her ex-husband had a wonderful relationship for a long time. It was just a blast, she said exactly. But after he married Robyn, Christine began to feel as though they were missing something. Christine found it difficult to comprehend Kody's choice to officially wed Robyn and adopt her children, even though he never formally divorced her like he did with Mary. Instead of being the deep bond it once was, their marriage turned into more of a formality. As Christine described how Kody totally neglected her on all levels, emotionally, romantically, financially, and even physically, she added, it wasn't a real true intimacy. Christine claims that when she and Kody initially got married, their private life was excellent. But as their marriage came to an end, it was essentially non-existent. Over time, the TLC star admitted, sex between the two of them became just an act and lacked genuine emotion. As Kody met her demands, she remembered feeling taken advantage of. Christine acknowledged, though, that it's possible she was using Kody for the same purpose. Kody Brown showed no interest in making things better. The saddest thing, though, is that she and Kody never discussed it and instead chose to leave things alone. Christine believed that her ex-husband was fine with having sex as a requirement of their marriage. The father of the Brown family never really saw anything wrong with their personal relationship, even if it was only happening around 5 times a year. On the one occasion when Christine tried to speak to Kody, he cut her off right away and openly said that they will never experience intimacy in their marriage. Christine disclosed that she no longer wanted Kody in her bed after learning how he felt about the circumstance. The former sister wife began to become independent at that time and eventually worked up the guts to leave Kody. Kody Brown's deceptive tactics have been exposed on multiple occasions. The problem was initially raised by Christine during the 2022 Sister Wives Season 16 Tell-All. She found this situation extremely distressing because Kody continued to have intimate relationships with Robyn and Janelle. Given the Brown family patriarch's blatant partiality, it was not surprising that Kody and Robyn had a positive relationship, but his sexual relationship with Janelle was unexpected. At this time, the audience realized that he and Janelle were incredibly uncomfortable around each other and hardly had any romantic feelings remaining for one another. Janelle, on the other hand, seems content with her and Kody's physical relationship being devoid of emotional ties. It's obvious that Janelle was able to handle their relationship differently than Christine since she had lower expectations for Kody. However, after learning that Christine was thinking about leaving him, Kody put everything on her and stated why he didn't want to have an intimate relationship with her. Kody claimed that he couldn't handle being around Christine in any way in this circumstance and that it felt like she was stabbing him in the back. This demonstrates how Kody employed emotional neglect as a means of control and manipulation. In order to put all of his wives in a state of perpetual insecurity and competition with one another, Kody's preferred tactic was to withhold love and affection. Because he would make his wives feel unworthy of his attention the moment they challenged him, all of them were effectively compelled to keep in line and feed his ego for years. Chapter 1: The Foundation of Christine and Kody's Relationship. When Christine joined the Brown family in 1994, she was the third wife to enter into a spiritual marriage with Kody Brown. Mary had been the first wife, followed by Janelle. At first, Christine's addition brought vibrance and balance. Christine often said that her bond with Kody felt magical in the early years. They had fun, shared inside jokes, raised children together, and supported one another through the difficult logistics of plural marriage. Christine's desire to be a good sister wife was genuine. She believed in the family structure and trusted that Kody had the emotional bandwidth and fairness to love and cherish each wife equally. But as years went by, the cracks began to form, and once Robyn Brown entered the picture in 2010, those cracks turned into gaping emotional wounds. Chapter 2: The arrival of Robyn Brown changed everything. Christine has admitted multiple times that things took a dark turn in her marriage the moment Kody brought Robyn into the family. Initially, she tried to welcome Robyn with open arms, but it soon became evident that Kody's affection and attention were being monopolized by his new wife. In fact, during the 2025 tell-all, Christine said, "The minute he told the family he was going to marry Robyn, I knew our relationship was over." It wasn't jealousy that caused the rift, it was Kody's blatant favoritism. Christine could feel herself being emotionally phased out. The playful dynamic she once shared with her husband started to disappear. She began to feel like a shadow, only appreciated when she fulfilled logistical or domestic responsibilities. She was no longer someone Kody pursued, cherished, or even noticed. Chapter 3: Emotional Starvation and Physical Rejection. One of the most shocking moments of the tell-all was when Christine opened up about the lack of physical and emotional intimacy in her marriage. According to her, she and Kody only had sex around 5 times a year toward the end, and even then, it was empty. It wasn't real, she said. It was just an act. Christine admitted that sex had become so disconnected from emotion that it started feeling more like a chore. And Kody? He didn't even see a problem. When Christine tried to bring up their lack of intimacy, he cut her off and told her flat out that they weren't going to have that kind of relationship anymore. Hearing those words from the man she'd been spiritually married to for over 2 decades was devastating. It was a complete erasure of their bond. But that was also the moment Christine began regaining her power. "I didn't want him in my bed anymore," she said, signaling the beginning of the end. Chapter 4: Christine's Revelation: I Felt Used. Perhaps the most damning part of Christine's reflection came when she acknowledged that she felt used. In her own words, intimacy had turned into something transactional, something that neither partner was enjoying or initiating with love. While Christine admitted she might have been using Kody too, the fact remains that for her, sex without emotional intimacy felt like betrayal. Christine's admission is powerful because it reflects how many women in long-term, emotionally starved relationships feel but never express. Her courage to say it out loud, on national television, was nothing short of revolutionary for a reality show that often glazed over the deeper wounds of polygamy. Chapter 5: Kody's Emotional Manipulation and Gaslighting. One of the most frustrating dynamics throughout Sister Wives has been Kody's ability to turn the blame on others while positioning himself as the victim. In Christine's case, he said that he withdrew from her physically because she was planning to leave him. In his mind, intimacy couldn't exist with someone who was stabbing him in the back. But this mindset reveals just how manipulative Kody's behavior had become. Instead of working on the marriage or validating Christine's concerns, he used her dissatisfaction as justification to punish her. Withholding love, affection, and connection was his way of regaining power. His strategy? Keep all the wives uncertain, insecure, and eager to prove their loyalty. As long as they competed for his attention, he never had to confront his failings as a partner. Christine, however, eventually stopped playing the game. Chapter 6: The Turning Point: Christine's Liberation. Christine's strength didn't come overnight. It took years of suppressing her needs and prioritizing the family structure before she reached a breaking point. But once she did, there was no going back. By 2021, Christine officially announced her separation from Kody. In the years that followed, Christine didn't just survive, she thrived. She moved to Utah, focused on her children, and opened her heart to love again. Meeting David Woolley was the start of something real. Their relationship wasn't just a romantic rebound, it was the healing Christine had always deserved. Through social media and sister wives footage, viewers saw Christine glowing, laughing, and genuinely happy in ways she hadn't been in years. Her partnership with David showed what mutual respect and affection look like. Chapter 7: What viewers learned from Christine's testimony. Christine's candid interview in the 2025 tell-all wasn't just for closure, it was educational. It showed millions of viewers how even seemingly strong marriages can be deeply broken when communication, affection, and mutual care are missing. It also showed that women don't have to stay in emotionally neglectful relationships just because they've invested decades into them. She gave permission for others to walk away when love becomes conditional, when intimacy feels like an obligation, and when communication becomes a one-way street. Christine's story became a rallying cry for empowerment, and fans rallied behind her with overwhelming support. Chapter 8: The Fallout, Kody's Crumbling Image. In contrast to Christine's redemption arc, Kody Brown's image has plummeted. Once perceived as a charismatic, if overworked, polygamist father, he's now widely seen as emotionally immature, manipulative, and incapable of self-reflection. His treatment of Christine, Mary, and Janelle has painted a clearer picture of who he truly is. Christine's decision to speak up removed the illusion of shared blame that Kody tried to promote. It revealed a pattern of neglect and favoritism that had gone unchecked for years. And while Robyn continues to stand by him, even her public image has taken a hit, with fans blaming her for enabling his worst behavior. Chapter 9: Christine's Legacy, Breaking the Cycle. By leaving Kody, Christine didn't just change her life, she shifted the narrative for her children, too. She showed her daughters that it's okay to demand respect in a relationship. She taught her sons that women are not objects to be emotionally or physically used for convenience. Christine now embodies the exact opposite of what Kody represented in her life. She's independent, joyful, vocal, and fulfilled. She's using her platform to share wellness tips, relationship insights, and daily doses of positivity that resonate deeply with her fans. And she hasn't stopped being honest. That's perhaps her most remarkable trait: she speaks plainly, without bitterness. Her truth isn't laced with revenge, it's filled with wisdom. Chapter 10: Final Reflections, Christine's Words Say It All. Christine Brown's reflections on her marriage aren't just shocking, they're deeply revealing. They expose how spiritual marriages, polygamous dynamics, and public family life can cover up serious emotional wounds. But they also show how healing and growth are possible, even after 27 years of feeling undervalued. Her words during the tell-all weren't just cathartic, they were historic for the Sister Wives franchise. They shifted the lens. No longer is Christine seen as the one who left. She's now viewed as the one who finally chose herself. And if there's one thing fans can take away from her story, it's this: sometimes the bravest thing a woman can do is walk away from a love that only drains her. Conclusion: a new chapter begins. Christine Brown is no longer just one of Kody Brown's former wives. She's a woman who redefined her narrative. Her 27-year journey wasn't wasted, it was the crucible that helped her evolve into who she is now. With David Woolley by her side and her children supporting her, Christine's new chapter is filled with hope, love, and a future she chose, not one that was chosen for her. She's not just surviving, she's soaring. And the entire world is cheering her on. Sister Wives, Janelle Brown denies being Azure Azul, claims she is a very sexual being. Janelle Brown married Kody when she was in her 20s. Janelle was married to someone else for a year before marrying Kody, making this her second marriage. However, things did not go as planned, and she met Kody shortly thereafter. They had a brief courtship, and she even met Mary. Janelle was the only Brown family member who preferred the polygamous arrangement. She claimed that it allowed her to follow her own interests without having to worry about her husband. During the final episode of Sister Wives Tell All, she addressed the speculation about her sexuality. The notion gathered traction, particularly following her divorce from Kody. Many viewers assumed Janelle was asexual because she had the least sexual contact with Kody. People assumed she had no interest in him and swayed another direction. Janelle accepted that everyone had this impression because she did not stand in the kissing line, but the reality is extremely different. Sister wives, Janelle reveals she would never have married Kody. Janelle Brown claimed that Robyn and Kody had a lengthy courtship. People